You want to know who said addictions are a spiritual disease before I did? M. Scott Peck. He's a psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever. Wonderful, wonderful person, you know, and that's the truth. Addicts are looking for God, which is one reason they have integrated God in a lot of addiction programs and so on, because they're seeking God. Well, the minute you went to the calm, clear place, you found and connected with God, which is something that they try to, you know, people go to church and they try to connect to God. And, you know, they do, but often they do it in the wrong way too, because, you know, in addition to connecting to God, they often get a real spiritual neurosis. You know, somewhere in the list of lessons, there's a lesson on removing dogmas. And it's what people are fed when they're in church, usually. In church, synagogue, whatever, they're fed dogma. You know, religion is largely dogma. And dogma is a spiritual, it's an illness. It compromises your immune system. So, like when you were, like, talking to your cousin who's a Christian, and she was telling you that you have to go to church and be saved, and, you know, if you don't do that, you're going straight to hell, and if you do, you're going straight to heaven. They say all these things to you. They start feeding you the dogmas. They talk to you, and you didn't like that. You know, you felt like there was something wrong with that. And in fact, the people who do it, you know, when they first encounter it, their first instinct, your first instincts are often the right ones, if you've ever noticed. And their first instinct is often like, uh-oh, there's something wrong with this. Yeah, they're right. But they end up getting sucked in anyway, you poor guys, you know, because they have nothing else, you see. As I said earlier, we're trying to train you in the right way. What is the right way? Well, it's being in touch with God all the time, and taking whatever messages you're getting, and also being able to tell the difference between channeling God and channeling some negative force. Like, yes, there are demons, and you can channel those, but also there are your relatives. You could be channeling your punitive aunt or whatever, you know, or the uncle who molested you. You know, you can actually find, you know, when you're in the middle of some negative state, try asking questions about who you're channeling. It helps. So, you know, what is lesson number 3? You know, I'm starting to see it. It's about being savvy. You know, you kind of like are seeing, like, this person is like influencing me, and they've been dead for 20 years. You know, and this guy, I'm still hearing his voice, but the voice is often not something you can actually hear audibly. You know, it's just there. You know, but you're putting it out. You know. Well, I mean, a question that you could ask right now is, has my dimension altered since I started studying this stuff? You know, the reason I ask you to do that is a lot of people avoid things like dimensions. They don't understand it, you know, and they don't look at the lessons. You know, sometimes they'll test to do the lessons on dimensions, and they'll start reading the lesson, and they're blocking it out as they're reading it. And so it's the habit of not just looking for spontaneous signals throughout this movie while you're listening to me talk, but actually finding questions to ask, like, has my dimension shifted, or has there been a shift in the balance among my particle attributes since I started? Ask that question. See if you get if you get a signal on that, or even a good feeling. A signal might be a finger signal, but also you can see, you know, what your feeling is. You know, what your good feeling is. Do you know what your mission is now since you started this? So you can test that. And you should get no signal on that, because if you're getting a signal, it means you're probably fooling yourself. See, now that you know me, I can say anything I feel like and assign anything I think you need, you know. I still don't know exactly what my mission is. Like, ending disease on the planet is not my mission. That is a result that will feed my mission. It will help my mission. But, you know, this is not my mission. See, every day you work miracles, and that's not your mission, working miracles. It's just something that, you know, may enable you at some point to do the exact thing that fulfills your mission, whatever that is. You know, sometimes I know this about mission, that sometimes we're in this life to just do one action, one thing that changes the course of history. And that was our mission in this lifetime. You know, we were here to just say this particular thing to this particular person at this particular moment. And when we've done that, boom, our mission is complete. And you'll inevitably arrive at your mission as you keep, you know, removing things, taking things out. You will inevitably arrive at what your mission is. And you keep testing through the hub and listening to the talks on this page, because I'm putting this movie on the directory of talks page. So, you know, the way you want to use a player, an MP3 player, to listen to these talks. They are not redundant, and there's hundreds of hours of them. This is the college. These are the college lectures. And these are what you need to listen to, you know, do the curriculum. And you can listen to them all day, because you can take them running with you on a player. You can put them on CDs and, you know, insert them in your car player and listen to them that way too. So, or just download them all to your iPod and I have a jack for my iPod in my car, so you can use that. You can use them that way. Okay, so now let's take a break and talk with the people you're watching this with about what I've said to you. Come up with questions. Take as long as you need, all day if you need to. There's a lot here. And then, you know, come back for the next segment.